Once again, we are back with another episode of Strip Clubs and Art Galleries. Man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Today we brought somebody in super special. Me and Britt, when we've been researching, trying to figure out what we can bring y'all that's not the usual, not the normal. We didn't give y'all some names that y'all probably familiar with. Today we're gonna give y'all a name that y'all need to know. We're gonna teach y'all something. We're gonna drop some gems. And when this is over with, I kind of feel like y'all gonna respect the platform more because we've been giving y'all a lot of that ratchet, humorous content. But I think today we got something special that's gonna tap into your mental, make you think, make you, reach into your perspective bag. Cause I try to do that sometimes. You know what I mean? I try to act like a nigga that got some sense. So today I'm gonna be on my best behavior. Big Brit's in the building. Our special guest is Stephanie, thank you for tuning in. Well, thank you for being here anyway. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm happy to have you. I'm not going to hold you, right? Because I've been following you for a while. I'm not going to say how many years because this sounds creepy, but it's been a long time, right? And I'm excited to actually finally meet you in person. A lot of the guests I have met in person, you're like one of the few that I haven't met in person. And for that, I think I'm going to be extra tuned into what you got to say. So thank you again for being here. We will get into that. How y'all feel?
I feel good.
You feel good?
I feel great.
Britt says she excited. We back.
Definitely excited.
I walked in.
Man, we try to be hospitable.
Absolutely.
I'm a gentleman, for real. I really am. I love that. I try to be.
And for anybody that comes on,
Yeah.
this is a vibe. Like
it's always gonna be a vibe.
It's always gonna be a vibe. This is a great culture for
Energy been great since I walked in.
Yeah, that's super important to me though. Energy means so much to me because, like, I'm one of those manifesting type of people where everything matters. Like, okay, whatever's on my mind, what I'm thinking, what I say out of my mouth, all of those things, like, really, I'm meticulous about it. And I don't try to speak negativity or whatever because I just feel like that's just bringing that type of energy into my food, and I don't need that. So I'm big on energy, and I find your energy as soon as you walk through the door, like, it just was like, it was welcoming.
Here.
You smelled good. Oh my God, did she smell
good?
Like... She looked good, smelled good. I'm like, oof. All right, okay, that's dope, but nah. But like I said, thanks for coming. But we got an audience. Our audience is kind of new, right? So we're a new show still. We're coming up on a year. So for the people that are tuning in, that are watching, let them know where you're from, what you do, which they might be surprised by because there's not a lot of pretty women that do certain things. But let's get into your bag. Tell us about you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Ever since I walked in the door, they've all been so hospitable immediately. And my time management skills aren't great. So when I tell you, I feel so much more respected when they're like, it's okay. I'm Stephanie. Mm-hmm. I'm from Griffin, Georgia. A lot of people don't know where that's from. It's like an hour south of Atlanta, but I grew up on like a real farm, like cows, chickens, some real country. Can I cuss on here or no?
Yeah, you can say whatever
some
the
real
fuck you want to
shit.
say.
I'm like some real country shit.
They ain't getting naked. What you talking about?
Raunchy. I'm
You
like,
say, can I curse?
no, I
They
say
ain't-
cuss words, and I'm
Listen,
like, okay, I just want to make sure.
I done seen titties come out on this show. Listen, we are here.
And
all
I
right?
love
Let's
that.
Go.
I
love
love
it.
a good titty. What's up?
Showski, nah.
I'm from Griffin, Georgia, a small town an hour south of Atlanta. I spent my whole life there. I moved to Atlanta at 18 to go to college, and I've been in Atlanta since 2014. I love it here. I work as an attorney relations manager, so I'm basically a liaison for people who have been in car accidents, slip and falls, anything like that. Anything that requires a personal injury attorney, I will get them with the best personal injury attorney in the city and make sure they're good.
Yeah.
But even before I did that, I spent years bartending, waitressing at every lit club you can think of in Atlanta. I mean, I've worked everywhere.
For real?
Yeah, there's nowhere I haven't worked in Atlanta.
Did you dance? You just bartended?
I never danced.
Just bartended?
I've been, sometimes I thought about it, but I've been blessed. I cannot lie.
Yeah.
But I've been blessed enough to where I never needed to dance. or never was in a position where that was a necessity for me. Not that there's anything wrong with it. But yeah, I bartended, I waitressed at anywhere from V Live to Magic City to Allure to Blue Flame to Onyx. I mean, I've been everywhere you can think of.
Yeah, you like an alumni.
Yeah, I've done my due diligence.
Alumni.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I've done my due diligence, and it helped pay my way through college. And I graduated, got my degree, and I'm working on my law degree. But yeah. So I
this
love
Atlanta, and you turn the radio on, every commercial out here is about a slip and fall. So,
a car accident.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know the songs by heart, like for real.
That's dope. I always say that's one of the best marketing tools since I've been in the personal injury industry. I always say them songs. Yeah. You can get a good song, a little
jingle
song.
on the
Everything
radio.
Is a real song, and it's
right. They legit be having artists like verse, hook, verse. Like how the fuck y'all do? Nah, I love that shit though. But that's only like in Atlanta. In DC, we didn't have that like that. You know what I mean? DC, we might have a couple commercials, but we ain't had no real jingles. That's how you know we in the music capital. This shit is crazy out here. So you've been here since 2014.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I first came to Atlanta in 2014. I fell in love with it the day I got here. I visited and fell in love with Atlanta, and then I said I'm moving, and I moved here in 2015. And then I left like 88 and came back. But I'm back and I love it. But Griffin, like you said, small town, chickens, cats, ducks, cows, all that. You milk cows
cats.
and all that?
I don't fuck with cats.
I don't fuck with cats either.
Yeah. They just be arching their back and they look like they want to attack real quick. And I like to know if somebody going to attack me, I want to know ahead of time.
They be chill though. I'm not going to lie. My ex had a cat and they be straight.
Cats are not chill.
They be chill.
No, they not.
You gotta have good energy. That just means they don't fuck with you.
I don't fuck with animals, to be honest with you.
I don't fuck with animals either.
I'm not an animal person.
I'm not an animal person either. I'm not.
So you don't have any for yourself, but your ex had a cat and you fucked with the cat.
No, yeah, I fuck with his cat.
Okay.
But like, other than that, like, no, I'm straight. But like animals, I'm straight.
It was his cat, for real?
It was dead ass.
I never met a nigga with a cat.
Dead ass.
A man with just a cat.
Like what nigga be like, I want a cat.
Like, he had a cat.
Like nigga, I got a kitten in the house. Like what the fuck? Where did you get it? Was it a kitten when you got it, bro? Stop playing with me.
That might be red flag.
That should have been my first red flag.
Nigga been playing with a kitten. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, not me.
I'm just playing with you.
Yeah, my bad, bro. Do not shoot me, my boy. I'm sorry.
Kidding.
If you see this, I'm so sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I still like your cat.
Right, I love him. Love him.
So when you went to high school, Steph, like what was the vibe out there? Because I feel like Georgia. Since I've been in Georgia, right? Mm-hmm. Atlanta feels like Wakanda, like it's in this bubble of black people, right? And then when I step outside of Atlanta, everything outside of it is not necessarily black people. So it's like I had some negative experiences. I've been through shit or whatever. Nothing like life-threatening or anything, but if it does remind you sometimes like you really in the South.
Oh, absolutely. So my mom, I'm a biracial woman. My mom is white. She's German and Irish. My dad is black. We've never done his ancestry, but he's very, there's got to be some I don't know what he's mixed with, but growing up in a small town, it's very small, southern and racist. It's what's insane is when I tell people, yeah, I live in Atlanta, but I'm from an hour south. They're like, oh, it's still Atlanta, and I'm like, no. Like where I grew up, there was like Confederate flags. There's like Trump posters everywhere, and I don't get into politics, so that's whatever. But like it's a very growing up as a biracial woman having curly hair, they would call me poodle, or growing up mixed breed, like mutt. Like these white people are like when I tell you,
like the kids or the adults.
Kids, adults. I remember my friend came over and her granddad came to pick her up, and my dad answered the door and he's like, "You'll never come back." And my dad's like a respect. Like he did 9 years overseas, a military contractor. He has a degree. My dad was, a nice, very put together, but that's what's so ignorant about it is that they make you feel like, oh, if they have a degree, if they have this, then they're a different type of person. But it's like at the end of the day, when I moved to Atlanta, I'm gonna be honest with you, in my small town growing up, there's maybe 3 or 4 examples of black excellence. So I remember moving to Atlanta and seeing, I was so ignorant growing up there to just so many, Atlanta is filled with so many examples of black excellence. And when I tell you, not even just Atlanta but other cities, and it's just like there's so many people, not even just business owners but photographers, videographers, there's so many examples of black
that's why I said Wakanda. It's like we in every sector here.
Absolutely.
It wasn't growing up in DC, it wasn't like that. we weren't in every sector. So growing up in Griffin, I know it's not the same. You know, it's like.
And I just want to put so many black, like I'm so vocal and just like transparent and honest about how I feel. I want to put it in their face. Like I want to go, like I tell my mom this all the time because she still lives there. My dad retired to the Philippines, but I want to just put it in their face. Like in Atlanta, you can't avoid it. Like any company you apply, you might apply for a law firm or apply for a company, and it's a black CEO what in finance and management and whatever. And so, like, I can't help but just to want to put it in their face because they don't get to see it. And even though it's only an hour, you would think it's 5.
But what about because, like, I know, like, even here, right? It's crazy to me. Growing up, I used to think law enforcement was white people. Like that's like all I knew. So I see cops, I see lawyers, everything that I identified with some type of fear attached to it was like attached to like a white authority. You know what I mean? And then I came to Atlanta and I'm like, damn, you got black judges, black lawyers, prosecutors, everything, like officers. Like it's crazy. Even I've been like I seen black bail bondsmen because I went to do bail bonds for someone. And I'm like, damn, like we really in every sector out here. The doctors at the hospital, like it's crazy, but it's a beautiful thing because it's like y'all remember the Black Wall Street. You know what I mean? You remember Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, right? And it's like that's kind of like what it is. You know what I mean? Our mayor, the DA.
But you still have to be careful though. Like I feel like even with black people in power like that, you still have your people like that take that to their heads, if that makes sense. Like I feel like my mom has always been a police my whole entire life, and like growing up I saw great examples of police because my mom has always been a very fair person. She's always been for the people. My mom was never for the system. And so growing up I always thought police were just great people, and then like I saw a different side of damn, there's black people in power, like, and I'm like, y'all abuse this shit because y'all are trying to please the white people. So you really have to kind of pick and choose. Like, I feel like, especially in Georgia, like APD, they don't give a fuck about shit. Like,
I don't care what about shit. Respectfully, I don't care if you in zone 1 through zone 6.
Girl, they don't give a fuck. Well, you take it to the extreme. Georgia State Patrol, they give a fuck about everything. Like, you're going to jail. Like, it don't matter what the fuck you did. It could be something minor. Like, you're getting locked up. So it's like, and it could be a black officer. It could be a white officer. It could be anybody.
I mean, if you commit a crime, you commit a crime.
At the same time, though, but black people still in power, sometimes they don't know how to, like, use that power because they've never had power before. So it's like when black people sometimes get power, they use that and they try to please the white people, I feel like sometimes. And it's like...
The DA got the president on fucking a Rico. You know what I'm saying? Listen, she got the DA got the president on a Rico. Stop it. Like, it's different. It's different, you know what I mean? But I'm not mad at it. Like me, I don't participate in illegal activity. So that certain things don't trigger me the way it might trigger other people.
Did I hear a laugh?
Right? It don't trigger me like it trigger other people.
With even Thug situation, like you got someone who, and it's at the end of the day, it's like they haven't even found one juror that's able to stand trial, and his jury selection started January 11th, which is my birthday. So they haven't found one person who's trial for that because and this is one thing I always see all the time. People are like bond amounts or whatever, and I'm like, there's so many examples that go like there's different states, there's literally laws that require certain states mandatory minimums to charge somebody for this amount of time. So you might see a rapist in Oregon get 13 months and they're like, well, I saw a rapist in Georgia get 7. And I'm like, there's certain states that have mandatory minimums, so that state has to require. But what you're saying about like even the Thug situation, like for me it's like you see people who have been incarcerated or whatever the case is, and then they get out and they make a whole new life for themselves, etc. Like there's no reason why Thug is sitting in solitary confinement. Thug is in solitary confinement. So I don't know.
He's been about a year, right?
Over. He's in solitary confinement. Like one thing is incarceration, that's one thing, but this man is sitting in a cell, maybe 500 square feet. No, not
that big.
350.
Not even that big.
350 square feet. There's a light on all day, 24 hours. There's a light.
You can't tell the time.
And then he has to wake up because where he's at is at least an hour and a half from the actual Fulton County Courthouse, and he has to wake up every single day from Monday to Friday and get up at 4 a.m., get his body, get in this truck, go to court, wait for a juror, and come back and do it every day. That is inhumane. I don't care what he has done, what they have him connected to, what they have him tied to. That is so inhumane. And if I had a bet, and I've been saying this, I would bet on my life, Thug is never gonna see a real court case. There's no one that can do it. There's no one. But at the end of the day, you said what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
For him to not have a bond this long, it's crazy.
Insane.
It's crazy.
He's in inhumane conditions. Absolutely,
it's crazy because it's not like they haven't proven that he's a danger to society.
There is.
So it's like I could see if you're a murderer, yeah, like okay.
Even the the rental car that they said the rental car that was used in the shooting, and they said Young Thug rented it. They went and got that information illegally, so that shit can't even be used in trial. Yeah. So it's so many different things, and it's just like I said. I mean, I could talk about it all day, but you know how I post, and like my heart is with criminal justice reform. I don't think anyone should be sitting in a cell like over certain things, and I just don't think there's enough evidence for Thug or Casanova in New York or all these. Like I've looked at their discoveries, I've looked at because it's public knowledge. Yeah, I've looked at all these things, and I just don't think it's significant enough for someone to be spending that time in jail. Yeah.
So I don't know, man, because it's like my perspective is I agree with what you're saying, right? I'm just trying to formulate how my opinion is. I agree with what you're saying. I feel like this is why I don't participate in illegal activities, because I don't understand. I don't know if people think like, oh, I'm going to commit a crime and then I'm going to go just live comfortably, because we're not. They're going to put you in a position to try to break you. Absolutely. And I feel like even with that, it's fucking with his mental health. It has to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? It has to be to be isolated like
4
that.
4 a.m. every morning, 4 a.m.?
But it's at the same time, it's like...
Yeah, that's
with no juror? They haven't found one juror. You understand? Like, and I'll just explain the. So,
where do jurors come from? Your city, your county?
Yeah, the jurors come from your peers. So anybody that registers to vote could be picked for jury duty. Period. So normal jury duty is $25 to $50. I want to say it's $50 a day. $25 a day. And a public defender normally costs $7,500 for a case. You're talking about a case. It's almost like OJ. OJ's case lasted 11 months. This is back in OJ's case was what, decades ago. We're in a state where normally that could happen. We could find a jury of 12 to 14 because you have to have two people or one. Normally it's one person that could be filling. But okay, let's say 14 people. It's normally fine to find a jury of 12 to 14 people, but you're talking about his case. And they've said it's gonna last from 9 to 12 months. Who the fuck can sit on a jury from 9 to 12 months, $25 a day? And what attorney as a public defender, because everybody else on his indictment, I think he had a 37-person indictment, I believe, or a little bit more, but everybody pled out. So he still has an indictment of at least like 12 people, I believe. How many public defenders can get paid $7,500 for a trial 9 to 12 months? Who can afford that? Yeah. Nobody can afford that.
Does it help him or hurt him with everyone else pleading out?
At the end of the day, Brian Steele is his attorney, and Brian Steele is a genius, and I will always speak highly of him because I've worked in criminal defense, and he is him. I mean, he's right next to Drew Finley. Like, Drew Finley's everybody else's attorney. Like,
I know who Brian Stills is.
Okay, Brian Stills, Drew Finley has done like Gucci, Cardi B, everybody. Like, Drew Finley is that guy. He's right next to Drew Finley, and I'm telling you, it just logically doesn't make sense. I cannot think of a juror. They've been doing jury duty since January 11th, and they have not found who can sit on a trial from 9 to 12 months.
You ever been mistreated by a cop?
Yeah, definitely.
You ever been mistreated by a cop?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure. I had my whole Rolex stolen, my bags, Then when I got out of jail, the next day, I went to get my car out of the tow yard. my Rolex was missing, my money was missing, my purse was missing. So we pulled up at the car dealership, the car's auto spa bistro on 14th Street. When I tell you, I guess the girl we got to beating her up that night. That's why we went to jail.
Oh, you fight. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. There you go.
We had a fight.
Okay.
And it was like a Real Housewife. It was some shit. Yeah, long story short. We got to beating her up.
You beat up a Real Housewife? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, she was definitely on Real Housewives for sure. We beat her up.
Cool.
And then and she was like a little. Anyway, we got to beating her up, and then we went to jail. We got out. Next morning, I'm trying to get my car, trying to figure out where the fuck my car at. And then we get my car out of the ATO. And then I fucking hate ATO. They literally put my car on the second floor. So when I was trying to drive it out, I had a Maserati at the time. My engine was falling out, so I had to call. I had to call police to get me out of there. Long story short, we pull out, get my car. My watch was missing, my money was missing, my purse was missing. I pulled up to Auto Spot Bistro because I already know the guy who normally cleans my car. I'm like, look, all my shit is missing. Can you clean it? Try to find it. I guess when we beat the girl up, my homegirls that didn't go to jail, because it was like 4 of us, only 2 of us went to jail. The other 2 didn't go to jail. They took the girl phone and put it in my car. So when we got to the fucking Auto Spot Bistro, 5 cars, a paddy wagon. It was so bad.
SWAT team, all that shit.
And I worked for Magic. I was waitressing in Magic City. Magic was there. You know the Auto Spot Bistro on 14th Street. That shit lit. Everybody be there. So Magic is there. The whole Falcons. It was just so bad. And I was like, I swear to God, we did not take this girl phone. Thank God her shit went dead.
That's what the fight was for?
No, the fight was for something. For the nigga. For the guy.
Oh,
for
okay.
The guy, But the phone, anyway, long story short, they put me back in handcuffs again. Mm-hmm. They detained me at the Auto Spa Bistro, and then thank God her phone went dead right on time, and we got out. But yeah, it was crazy.
They get away with a lot of shit. I feel like, so I had an incident where a cop actually like did some shit to me, and I reported it like a year later. Because one thing about me, like I'm not gonna say I'm not confrontational. I am very much so like, if it causes extra stress to me and I already have a lot going on, I really don't have time for it. I don't want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I reported it a year later. It was me against the police. Like, it was me against everybody. And I'm like, damn, like, y'all, my mom worked for them. Like, it was just so much shit that I'm speaking up. I have like my close friends, they're speaking up for me. And it was just like, the police was not going for it. They're like, you and this guy had something going on. Like, and I'm just sitting here like, period.
And you're like, we didn't.
Yeah, I'm like, we didn't. And I'm sitting here trying to vouch for myself. But the type of person I am, I'm very much so, if you don't believe me, like, you don't believe me. At the end of the day, like, I'm not going to fight for real. Because I know what it's going to take to get through all that shit. I don't really have the mental capacity to sit here and fight the police, like, at the end of the day. And then a year later,
I damn sure ain't fighting them.
He got fired for lying about some random shit. Yeah, so it's just like, ever since then, it really changed my perspective, because I'm like, damn, like, y'all know who my mom is. Y'all know I've been around y'all. Like, y'all know the type of people that we are. Yeah. I have no reason to sit here and lie about saying it took me a year to come forward in the first place. Yeah. And y'all are still like, yeah, like, whatever, like, you lying. I'm just like, damn, like, it's really y'all against me. So that really changed my whole perspective about police in general, because I'm like, y'all will do whatever for $1. Y'all know that if I sit here and I say this happened, I could sue y'all. I could do all types of shit. But y'all are so locked up on the fact that this is going to affect our money. This is going to affect our reputation. Like, y'all don't give a fuck about shit else.
Because police, you know, we get excited off indictments, but there's never no convictions after the indictment.
Yeah, the convictions.
We celebrate them indictments,
thing.
though. We celebrate that shit, like, you know what I mean? But no one goes to jail for none of that shit. So it's like, all right, it just gets swept under a rug. They push the case back till people forget about it, and the person go home, and it's that, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. It's a gang. So, Stephanie, I want to ask you, right? Where did your passion for criminal justice come from?
So I was a nursing major. When I moved to Atlanta, I wanted to be a nurse. I was a CNA in high school, so that was my heart. And then I don't know if y'all are familiar with Sandra Bland. I watched her video, and I remember being very sad about the fact that all she was doing was smoke. I think she had a tail light out. She was smoking her cigarette. Cop was like, "Put it down," and they incarcerated her, and 4 days later they said she committed suicide. So I remember that being a big trigger for me. But even out that was even before my best friend. His I'm not gonna say his name, but he like I told y'all, he's a big black man, 6'5", about 200 something pounds, 280 maybe. He had a white mother of his children and his girlfriend. They had 2 kids together. She's probably like 5. She's tall. She's shorter than me, so I'm 5'5". She's probably like 5'2". Little hefty girl. And they got in an argument. She went to her family's house. He pulled up, told her, "Get your ass in the car." They got to arguing. She had a little cut above her eye, and I looked at the discovery because I don't believe in domestic violence at all. I've been a victim of it. I've seen it. Don't think that's cool. But from what he did to her, she didn't even go to the hospital. It was literally like a little cut, and then, like I said, it's in a small southern town where I'm from. It's country, so her family called the police, said he kidnapped her. He went to trial. He didn't take a plea deal. He could have got a plea deal for like 10 years or maybe like 8 years. But she went to trial, and she came to trial, and she fought for him. And she said, "Look, he didn't kidnap me. We got in an argument. He pulled me up, told me, 'Get your ass in the car.' And it was a cut above my eye. And he had no criminal history, period, because I know what goes into bond hearings. He had no criminal history, but they gave him 25-year sentence for kidnapping in Georgia.
And the victim said, "I didn't get kidnapped."
She came to court and testified.
So I'm not even a victim.
Yeah, she came to court and testified for him on his behalf because that was her children's father. She came to court and testified for him and said, "I wasn't beat up. I'm not none of that," because I'm still not. I'm a stickler for like men putting their hands on women. So I looked at his discovery. It was like a little cut. He's like, that cut came from her family trying to drag her back in the house when I was like, "Get your ass in the car." But yeah, he's doing a life sentence in Georgia. Kidnapping sentence is 25 years. So he's doing a life sentence. And that is what inspired me because he's just the sweetest. He had no criminal history ever. He's just the sweetest, most kindest person. And I pulled his discovery. I pulled his whole case file. There was not one black juror on his whole jury. He had a public defender, white public defender, and every juror on his jury was a white person. There was no black people on his jury. It's just the saddest shit ever, and that is what really inspired me. Like, that's what made me change my whole major. Because I could have been a nursing major and been a travel nurse and made great money, but when I saw that happen, on top of what I had already, like, seen the Sandra Bland case was already on some, like, damn. When I saw my best friend get a life sentence it just broke my heart. And I pulled an open records request. Yeah, for an argument.
He got life for an argument.
Yeah, and I pulled all the footage, like the open records request, the photos, and I was like, wow, this man is sitting in prison for 25 years. Like,
can he not appeal it or nothing?
We did an appeal. The initial attorney, the public defender, doesn't work for the public defender's office anymore, so they don't respond. So we tried to put in an appeal. We've done everything we can. Like, I always say, like, that's what motivated me my major is criminal justice, my minor is nonprofit, and that has been a major inspiration in helping him. And there's a million people like him. It's not even just him. That's the saddest shit. And I'll be honest with y'all, like Kim Kardashian, like, I'm not a fan of anyone. I've never been like but when I see how hard she's visiting prisons. Like, I can tell she really cares about that, and that's what's like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
You know, trickle down like from her dad.
Yeah, right? From her dad. Her dad was an attorney. He was O.J. Simpson's attorney, and O.J. Simpson was my case for forensic science. I had to investigate the whole case and see. Like, there's so many things that went into O.J. Simpson's trial. There's so many.
I just want to know from a person on the inside looking out. Did he do it or did he not?
If you had to ask me, yes. But what I will say, he didn't do it alone.
It ain't about if you did it or not.
It's
about what you can prove.
But when I tell you, there, like, for instance, one of the nurses who was responsible for like pulling blood samples, she went home with the blood samples in her lab coat. So those blood samples got crossed out. And then one of the detectives, listen to this, they asked this man on trial, they said, have you ever said any derogatory slurs? He said no. They had a recording of this man saying the N-word over a 3-hour period, 47
God damn.
Listen, 47 times.
Nigga.
47 times.
Oh,
so there's
my
so
God.
many things that people don't, like, that was one of my, like, there's so many things that people in the public don't know. If you had to ask me, yes, he did it and he had some help, but there was not, like,
You think he had help?
I'm
For real?
1,000,000% sure he had help.
You know how hard
I never
it is?
heard that
I think
before.
to like commit
On
like,
some criminal justice, but I could be
The
wrong.
second time.
So do y'all feel like, because like you said, black men they don't really get off easy. So do you feel like if you know a black man did it, would you still be rooting for him, or are you like rooting for him to get locked the fuck up? Because it's like there are a lot of black people that I feel like they root for, but it's like we know what you did.
Like YNW Melly.
It's the crime for me.
YNW Melly did it.
It's
period.
the crime.
Yeah.
It's the crime. I don't think he did it.
He's gonna get off.
I
though,
don't think
he did
regardless.
it.
I don't know. I'm on my business.
You think he did it?
I'm on
I
my
know
business.
he did it.
I don't think
But
he
I feel like
You don't think
regardless,
he did it?
did it. He didn't do it.
He did it. He definitely did it, friend.
Nah, he didn't do that shit.
Yo, YNW Melly,
Why you think he did it?
I think
because the
I'm not
Snapchat
gonna
account
say
from his phone said, I did that shit.
Oh, never mind. My bad. Oops.
but
He did
black
it.
people are rooting
But no,
for
no.
him
They
because he's
said it
black.
said that, and he says that. He never wrote that before.
He said, I did that.
Yeah, with
And
the
that's why they're trying to say,
THAT.
oh, he
And
never
they say he
spelled
doesn't
that
even
before.
use that language like that. He speaks in Ebonics.
His whole
Yes, ma'am.
geographic bio, his whole phone was there.
His music, he tells on himself.
He said it. He did it. But I don't
But
think
the song came out before the
I
crime.
don't think anybody's
I mean, the song
lyrics,
was written
and
for
I
the
say
crime.
this very specifically, I don't think anyone's lyrics should ever be used in a trial, because y'all don't do that to Caucasian people. Y'all don't do it to them country motherfuckers. I do not fuck with that, period.
Well,
But I will say he did it. I think he did it. 1,000,000%, I think he did it.
So let me ask you this, right? So if I'm a rapper, right,
Yeah.
and I do a song, and I say, I smoked that nigga Delonte on 49th and 3rd on Thursday out the Centra. You don't think that can be used? You don't think that should be used against me? And Delonte's dead on 49th and 3rd? But because it's a beat behind it, it's like, oh, it's music. It's not like
I'm just, it's
that's
not,
crazy though. It's a thin
you're
line.
Right. My opinion is that my attitude is all against, like, y'all don't do that to white people, so don't do it to black people.
Yeah.
When white people be like, oh, I gave her too much moonshine.
I agree.
I gave her too many oxys and she died, and I love her and I want to revive her back. Like, y'all don't be charging them with murder, so don't charge. Like,
man, I agree with you, Stephanie. I just, it's just crazy to me because I feel like I'm from an era where you just shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean?
You don't even
certain
talk.
shit you just don't say. Like, just keep it to yourself. But we in a generation now where people
Talk too much.
gloat. Like they want to,
Yeah.
hey, I want you to know I did this shit. And then when I get caught for it, I'm going to be like, oh, man, you shouldn't use that against me. It's, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of this shit we could beat ourselves if we really be tricking ourselves into positions where we don't need to be. Because, like, you ask certain people in the streets or whatever, they'll tell you, like, if you just shut the fuck up, mind your business, keep your business to yourself, do your dirt by your lonely, certain things, like, then you'll be all right. But it's like when you want to go brag about what you did, and then I remember niggas used to brag about it to their friends, and then maybe one friend might get caught up in some shit, and then he'll expose you, and then, But now niggas is doing it on songs. It's like, bro.
no,
like,
it is a little OD.
Come on, bro.
And even dealing with my ex, like, we used to talk about that shit, like, because I'm like, he's like, yeah, I had to tell my little niggas, like, he on a record label, and he's like, yo, y'all got to be careful what you say.
What you saying?
You know what I'm
Please.
saying? Like,
doing
How do
the
y'all feel
fucking
about
most.
snitching. So like when it comes to snitching, like
ooh, I got a whole.
I
y'all
feel
go ahead.
like-
I'll finish. Y'all
Let's
go,
talk about it.
y'all
Let's
go
talk
first,
about it.
I'll go last.
say y'all have a homeboy or whatever, like Melly, I think he had a homeboy that snitched on him, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really too deep into it, but would y'all snitch on y'all's people?
Nah, I don't
If they did it?
Yeah, I got different. I'll tell you what
don't
my
believe in
attitude
snitching.
about snitching is different than a lot of people.
I just think that I don't believe in snitching, you know what I mean? But I understand why people do it. I'm not surprised when it happens. Like, we're humans. People are going to try to save themselves from the worst case scenario more times than not. So, you know, people are like, oh, this person snitched or that person snitched. When you talk about celebrity snitching, I don't know not one celebrity in the world that want to sit in a jail when they can go home. Like, why? For what? For what? Like, say for instance, a regular Joe Schmo, like we in the hood, we in the streets or whatever, that snitching is a little more dangerous because you got to go back there. I got to go back here. My family got to be there. I can't get away from that shit. So if I tell on you, where am I go? But if I'm worth $50 million, $75 million, and I tell, like, what you going to do to me?
So you agree with like Gunna?
Do I agree with it? No, but I understand it. What can you do to him? Where's the what punishment can you inflict?
You go second. I'll go
Okay,
last.
so-
I fuck with. Not that I fuck with anybody, but I'm saying I respect Gunna's intentions. But I'll talk about it. You go first.
So I'm against snitching in a sense. I would not get involved in that business if I'm not down, if that makes sense. Like for me personally, if I fuck with you, it don't matter if you did it or not. Like, not saying I'm gonna take a life sentence for you type shit, but like I'm just gonna mind my business. Like they ask me questions, I don't know shit.
But
like,
a Rico not built like that.
I understand that. But
It ain't
Gunna
about
knew,
minding your
but
business.
Gunna knew what he was getting into. My thing is, so it's like you're not oblivious to whatever.
What you mean
saying is
though?
going
Getting
on.
into though?
Like,
Because if you sign to a label, see, this is my problem. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm sorry, but if you sign to a label, if I sign to Columbia Records tomorrow, and let's say I signed to Sony Records, right, or whoever, Lucien Grange gets indicted for money laundering and X and Y, Z, and they give him a RICO case. He's the CEO of this big ass corporation. That's not going to affect me as an artist. I'm signed to the label, but they're not going to include me on that RICO.
But they're not.
But if my CEO is a black CEO from the hood,
Right.
and he catch a RICO, why y'all bringing me on a RICO? I'm just signed to him.
I understand that, but they're not going to accuse you of doing something unless you really had a part of it. To me personally, tell me if I'm wrong.
No, that's not true.
I feel like if I am,
If you know something,
you
I'll
compare-
accuse you so I can make you tell.
I had a
I'll
nigga
scare you
with-
into telling.
I had a nigga, a kingpin, right? I could pull up his shit right now. He was a kingpin. He was most fucking drug dealing nigga in Cincinnati. He had a barber shop. He had a
dating?
car dealership. No. We was friends.
Oh, okay.
He's coming to the club, fuck with me, Long story short, I'm talking about whatever. What I'm saying is, you talking about that's different. Like, duh, he was trying to figure out how it's XYZ. What I'm saying, for instance, like, I know a nigga who, when you Google his shit, this is the biggest drug bust in Cincinnati history. So it's like, it's different.
Yeah.
Or you're talking about, like, niggas that got some XYZ going on. That's way different from a nigga who has, like, I'm telling you, this nigga had the biggest drug bust in Cincinnati history. Mm-hmm. So it's like, some niggas are doing big weight and some niggas aren't. Some niggas are doing little weight. So it's like, a nigga who's got a case for, like I said, I gotta keep it a buck with y'all. I didn't know he had money like that because he was playing cheat with me. He took me to talk golf. He took me to Houston.
Like, this motherfucker got what?
What? That's what I said. He took me to
cheap
Top.
ass.
Look at me. Nigga took me to Top Golf, Houston's,
Look,
maybe
he was trying to lay low.
Another restaurant. I'm like,
He was laying low. That's all.
look at my face. I'm like, that's why I never fucked with you. I'm like, you're not talking about no real shit. Like, you're not. Yo, when I tell you, nigga called me. What's crazy is that the first date we went on, we went to Top Golf. He's like, I'm gonna come to your crib. I'm like, not letting no nigga in my crib. We left the crib. We went to the gas station right down the road. He kept looking over his shoulder like this. I said, baby, I work in the club. I'm not gonna set you up. Like I'm a waitress in the club. Why would I ever set you up? You good.
Yeah.
He said, nah, my homeboy just got locked up and I don't really trust it. And in my head, I'm confused.
What do you think the homeboy was telling?
He said, exactly. His homeboy got locked up on like 20 bags. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
But he wasn't a big fish. The homeboy wasn't a big fish.
No,
he was.
Nigga, I was fucking with
That's
the
what I'm
big
saying.
shit.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm saying.
The person to tell was never the big fish.
You might not be the big fish, but you did something for them to suspect you were involved.
Yeah,
like,
I could
so they
listen.
got him. Look, so they got him.
They could get you as my girl. I bought you shit with
No,
illegal
okay,
money.
so,
So
like,
they gonna make you
got him.
tell.
I got some
So I'm
people now in Virginia, like free my niggas A&B, like right now. They locked up they trying to charge them on some thug type shit. And it's like, they locked up everybody involved. But like the people involved, they let go. They didn't snitch or nothing. They didn't have to snitch to get let go. They didn't have no proof of nothing. If they don't have proof, they can't do shit.
If nobody say nothing, then
But
yeah.
If nobody say nothing.
But one thing about it, Fed cases, like normal cases are you gotta presume you're innocent till guilty. Fed cases, you're presumed guilty till innocent.
Yeah.
Fed cases are different. That's
For
a
real?
different. Yes, Fed cases, and
Especially
like state
Rico,
cases, city case, you're innocent till guilty.
Bro, you know how
Fed
hard it is to beat a
cases,
Rico?
And Rico
But
cases
that's why I
take
said
years
when
to
I tell you
build
my
up.
ex got locked up on a Fed case over mixtape, over albums, like that shit is insane. So when I tell you homeboy so long story short, I was telling y'all like he got locked up on some
His friend.
not Fed
They
case,
locked up on the 20
So
bags,
they got
yeah.
locked up. That's what I was telling you. Like it's different. It's so different type of.
So with you working in criminal justice, how does that affect you with the type of men you dating? Like, that's a thin line to walk, right?
Very.
Because now you didn't got how many exes that been involved in a Rico?
A lot.
All
I think
right now,
every
I'm
nigga
just
I've been
saying.
with has been involved in something. Like even Trom. Like he got indicted on a motherfucking Fed case
That's what
for
I'm
fucking
saying.
selling mixtapes. No, I've definitely. I think every man I've dealt with has probably been involved on some illegal shit, but I think a lot of them have changed that shit into some real money. For instance, Drum.
Well,
For instance, the new nigga I'm dealing with right now, he was a trucking company. He sold his shit to Yellow. Like I've done, even before Drum, I was done with Shaq, my ex, my first ex that I was engaged to. He was first round draft pick to the Bills, and I was with him for years before I ever met Drum. So, yeah, I mean, I think I've dealt with different men on different, but even his friends, even the man, like, for instance, Shaq, his friends, and even his friends be on some illegal shit. And I'm like, Shaq, you're worth $72 million. Your friends don't have to do no illegal shit, you know?
Yeah.
So I think I've seen it all.
That shit fun to young niggas. That's the problem. They enjoy that shit. A lot of niggas get in
That's
trouble
what
for
I
shit they don't
always
have to
say.
do. They
You
just
don't-
be wanting to do it.
His best friends. I'm like, yo, Shaq
It's a
gonna make sure
lifestyle
y'all go,
type shit.
or Drum gonna make sure y'all go forever. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So you're
But
right.
would you fold for them though? Like I feel like, especially if I'm fucking with someone, and I've been told that I'm done for this shit. Don't get me wrong.
I've been done
but-
for. I've been done for a nigga who cheated
I've
on
been
me
done
for
for
years.
some.
Relax,
I really believe in loyalty. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand you protecting yourself, but when you know what you're getting yourself involved to, I feel like I'm not finna just fold like that. Like, okay, yeah, like I get it. People want to save themselves, and especially I always say this: survival mode is very important. But I do feel like if I know I'm fucking with a nigga and like I'm not ready for that, I'm not gonna fuck with this nigga because I know I'm not ready for that. If this nigga gets locked up and I don't want to get locked up too, if I'm involved or if I'm just dealing with them, I'm not going to put myself in that position. Whereas if I fuck with you, I'm not finna sit here and tell on you. Like I'm not. Me personally, I just don't.
You want to do life on nigga? You're not doing that shit.
I'm not doing life for a nigga.
No, I'm
Because he
not.
bought you a bag and some sneakers. You're not doing no fucking life.
Listen, I wouldn't put myself in that position though. Like if I know this nigga is doing some dangerous
How you
shit,
might not know to the extent he doing it.
you're aware. Like, I don't believe that you just don't know what the fuck is going on, especially if you are with this person.
I've been in situations where I thought he was XYZ, but that was also on some young shit. Like, I'm 27 now, so, but I have been in situations, like you said, like, where I didn't know he was really on some real shit, and I done got finessed. I can't lie. But I also feel like,
and maybe it's some young shit too. Like, maybe
my shit was on like a credit card bill, like a phone. Give me a phone, and it was
See, I've dealt with a lot of like drug dealers. I've dealt with a lot of people like
Bree said, I got them right here.
So it's just like I know.
But that's a pattern.
It's a pattern, but
you're choosing that.
It's not that I'm choosing that, but like, okay. For instance,
you could go talk to a nigga in a call center. Like,
okay,
he's not going to jail.
I'm not.
You're not choosing him on purpose.
For instance, so like my ex, he is in some shit now. They're alleging that he is involved in some big drug shit or whatever for like fentanyl and like crazy shit. Now listen.
Y'all see the pattern?
Listen.
We've all been there.
Exes is all fucked up.
No, fentanyl is crazy.
They're all trash.
It's crazy. Like,
Send them to the streets.
I'm not with that shit. But at the same time, I was fucking with him to an extent that I've never been like, nobody looked at me like, oh yeah, you have something to do with this. Because I knew he was a drug dealer or he had some type of participation in it, but I kept myself out of that limelight, if that makes sense. Like, nobody has no pictures of me and this nigga. Nobody. I was very smart to the point where I know, look, you're in a dangerous business.
What's the goal when you talking to a nigga like that? What's
I'm
the goal?
not fucking with him for that, though.
How long do you think he's going to be available? If a nigga sell drugs, he's going to go to jail. He's going to die. One or the other. Like, what are the long term goals? You can't say, this nigga is in the streets. I can't wait to be his wife.
I wasn't looking to be his wife though. That's the thing.
That's what I'm asking. So what is the goal?
I'm not looking like this is my nigga for life. Like, don't
so
get
it's
me
just
wrong.
something to do at the time.
I mean, the goal was just I fucked with him. Like, and it's like whatever you got going on. We dated for like, I would give it like half a year. I'd say 6 months.
All right, but you risking your life for that.
Not really, though, because nobody even knew that we was really fucking around. So it's like, I know I don't want no parts of that. I'm not finna put on blast that I'm fucking with this nigga because I know
you ever rode in a car with the nigga?
Yeah.
What if they just shot the car up? What you mean? You think they can?
I've seen that happen.
They could, yeah, for sure.
I've seen people get, I know people like that. That have been.
No, I know that, but it's just he also wasn't the big guy at the same time. So it's like even being the
big one, the last to go.
No, I feel that
the soldiers go first.
It's just more of the fact that that's true.
I'm just saying, I'm being real because I care about you. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying. That's like.
But I'm very attentive of what's going on. I didn't ride with him all the time. I think I might have rode with him like maybe once or twice. Mm-hmm. I drove. Even when I'm with the nigga now, if I don't know you, I'm gonna drive because I've had niggas get in my car. And they looking around, I'm like, you gotta get out of my car. Yeah. It's like, if you gotta
throw that shit under your seat.
Surroundings, not even that. Like,
take that from me, baby.
Somebody pull us over, somebody shoot us up. Like, I'm in the car. I don't want no parts of that. But if I've had an ex before where it was like, I knew he was on probation. I knew he was in some shit. So I'm like, look, like push come to shove, I know the law. Like, I know what's going on. But at the same time, I feel like I'm very aware of what I'm getting myself into. I'm not going to fuck with a thug or a gunner.
I think it's just that it's like y'all pussy dry up when y'all see a nigga that go to clock in every day. Like, it's just something about it. Like, I don't understand what's the problem with
No.
So what's your type? Tell me your type.
No. My first job was at KFC. Right? Okay. My first car was a 96 Toyota Tercel. I'm from the country, like I said. I will never disrespect. I've met niggas that got real jobs, and I will still fuck with it. Like, I'm definitely not turned off to that at all. Now, I'll be transparent. I expect a certain type of lifestyle. I've been living a certain type of lifestyle for a long time. Mm-hmm. Whether a nigga provided it, whether I could provide it, I expect a certain type of lifestyle. I expect to be like, look, I want to go to Neiman's, I want to go to Saks, and I want to grab a pair of shoes.
This is my question. Yeah. You expect a certain type of lifestyle that you can provide for yourself, or you need him to provide it?
No, I could. What? I go to Neiman's to go buy a pair of shoes.
So you can do it yourself, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, you don't need a man to do it.
I don't.
So you can be with a man that can't do it.
And I have been.
And you're fine with that.
I fuck with niggas who I knew could not give me what I gave them. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was like 1 out of a motherfucking million. But this, I was telling you, because I've been dealing with niggas my whole life who could do X, Y, Z. So I was like, you know what? A lot of these niggas didn't fuck with me before I had my body done. Didn't fuck with me before X, Y, Z. So one of my a nigga I used to fuck with in high school, I ran into him Mother's Day. He's like, you know, you look so good. Da-da. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this nigga a chance. And he had a little bit of money. He was able to, you know, take me on a little vacation in the States. Not out the States. Keep in mind, I'm cute about my passport got about 12 stamps on that bitch. So I done been there. So I was like, you know what? I was tired of dealing with niggas who wanted to fuck with me because of who I used to fuck with or who, I fucked da-da-da's bitch. I fucked da-da. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck with this nigga because he know me since I was a kid. Not a kid, but since I hopped off the porch. Baby. And this nigga did some dumbass shit like he did.
What did he do?
So I can't wait to tell y'all about this. I can't wait to tell y'all about this one. So, my homeboy, my best friend from the club, you know, I used to wait tables. My homeboy was like, yo, we going to Onyx, or we going to Blue Flame, you want to come with me? I'm like, oh yeah, bro, like I'm going to pull up with you. We go to Blue Flame, da-da-da. He texts me like, I see you in Blue Flame, da-da-da. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, you good? You straight? You with your views with his homeboys? He like, I didn't spend all my cash. Can you give me $200? No, I can't wait to tell y'all. So I'm like,
keep going. Tell me some more. I want to hear it.
He said, I spent all my cash. Can you give me $200?
Yeah. And like a rider, you held him down, didn't you? Tell me about it.
And didn't. and motherfucking didn't.
Wait a minute. Let me tell
you why I didn't.
That's your nigga. You got to hold him down. That's your nigga. Y'all from the sandbox together. What you mean?
Y'all want to know why I didn't hand it? First off, the bitch was trash.
Oh, man.
So I'm looking at the bitch. She talking about can you give me, I already spent all my cash. Give me $200. I'll pay you back tomorrow. And respectfully, I think he would have paid me back.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you was like, nah,
But
nigga.
first off, the bitch trash. Why would you even ever? And then, nigga, you ain't even bought me no flowers. No, I'm looking at him like, you spending $200 on a stripper, nigga. Have you bought me flowers? Have you even done? No. Why the fuck would I give you $200?
No, you got to. He didn't spend $200 on a stripper. You were spending the $200 on a stripper.
I never did though.
It was your money that he
$200
needed.
never got spent. No,
so, but you can't use it. You can't hold that against me. I didn't spend my money. It was yours.
But I never did.
When I get it back, I'm gonna give it to you.
She had the choice. She wouldn't have spent it.
But I didn't. I never did spend it. I never gave it to him. What are you talking about?
But it's a loan. You could have loaned him the $200.
Yeah, I know he would have gave it back, but nigga,
with some flowers. He like, yeah, I was testing you. I just
no, I like the flowers that don't die, nigga. I like the flowers that.
Oh, you wanted $300, $400?
No, $500
that don't die.
Venus and the floors.
What I got a whole stack of them bitches out. He's seeing them. Nah. I got at least 4 boxes of Venus and Fleur flowers. Like, why would you?
No.
So would you? Because I feel like I don't even think it's an issue of dating a man with a 9 to 5.
But no, I just want to keep.
Can I hit the
I only
hookah?
fuck with him this long because I actually
mind your business.
But I only fuck with him like this because I'm like, you know what? We grew up in the same space. Nigga, what? You want to borrow? I spent my $200 already. What you spending on strippers? Nigga, you ain't even spent $200 on me, boy. Goodbye, die.
So why he felt comfortable enough to ask you that?
Because he knows she got money. Like
he know what happened. He was driving my Maserati.
Oh, you gave him the key?
Nigga ain't never drive my car.
Oh, you a real one. You
I was driving a Ford and nigga still wasn't driving my car.
And that's a car that another nigga bought. That's why I'm like, what?
Oh my God, like, not the car somebody else
This is my
bought.
opinion. I feel like it's not an issue. It's not an issue of dating a man like that works a 9 to 5. To me, like, being honest, if a man that works at McDonald's, for instance, like, I feel like my first job was at Taco Bell. cool. I was like,
mom was at KFC.
I was at
we right
17.
here.
Yeah, we right here. Like, I was 17 doing that shit. Like, and it's like, all right, cool, but like, what do you want beyond that? You have to have goals beyond working at McDonald's. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really gonna look at a nigga that works at McDonald's because I feel like I did that
already.
I've done that. And I'm not saying that I'm beyond that because at the end of the day, like, you got to do what you got to do.
A nigga working at McDonald's can make the same money as a nigga on the block.
They can, but at the same time,
it just look better. It's more appealing to a nigga that's on the
like
block.
when I was 20, like I'm from the country. Like, we don't even know what a Neiman Marcus is. We don't know what a Mercedes Benz is. Like, what? So I remember moving to Atlanta, and the first trick that I ever met, and I'll be honest, he was married, whatever. He like bought me my first Benz, paid for my body to get done. But I was so like, and like he taught me a lot about life in general. But like, I never knew what it was to go to Neiman Marcus and buy a pair of red bottoms. I wasn't even tapped into that. You know what I'm saying? I was 20 years old, but it's like I've been taught that, you know, and I know what I know what I deserve, and I know what I like expect. But like, not every man, like, you're like, even any man that I did do XYZ for me has seen that, like, yo, you got some shit going on. Even when I was in college, like undergrad, like, you're in college, they want to teach me something. And it's like, it's a million niggas out here who are gonna be a trick ass nigga. Oh, what, you want a pair of red bottoms till you go dead? Let's fuck. That's not even it. Like, for me, that was never something. And I think, you know, a lot of women have asked me, like, how did you get XYZ to wife you? How did you get XYZ to put a ring on your finger? How did you get XYZ to move you into the crib? And it's like, y'all are badass, bitch. You're not ugly. But at the end of the day, like, I really have some shit going on in life. And even aside from that, like, I know what I expect. Yeah. So it's like, you know, a lot of these women don't expect nothing but what, a little $700.
Yeah, they want items.
Jack a nigga off, whatever the fuck it is, or
$700 to jack a nigga off.
No, there's niggas.
Yeah,
really,
damn.
No, for real. And I feel like, especially,
I know, bitch, you done jacked that nigga off for $700.
$700.
And you gotta realize we in
that
that
shit a trap though, right? That shit really a trap because you be fucking with a nigga that'll put you in a condo. He put you in the condo, put you in a luxury vehicle, put designer and shit on you or whatever like that. And then if he cut you off, you still have to maintain that shit. So you had it because he was maintaining it. If he decided to cut you off and you can't maintain it, now you either got to get rid of it or find another nigga that can maintain it. Right. So now you're not dating for love or for affection. You dating for stability.
Right. And my thing is, like, as a beautiful woman, like, for me, I'm educated. So like, when I talk to niggas, my conversation is a little bit different. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So can't everybody have the conversation I have? Because the bitches haven't gone through what I've gone through or been through what I've been through or educated themselves like I'm educated. So it's like, yeah, you're right. Like you said, they dating for stability. But at the end of the day, it's like, you dating for stability with a nigga when really you could just be on some cool shit, chopping it up XYZ, but they don't even have that in their heads to do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How many women I've met, and I'm like, yo, like, why are you asking this? You should be asking this nigga for how to get your business plan brought up. Like, for me, like, I'm going to law school. Like, I don't have a business plan because I'm going to law school and I want to open a nonprofit to help people get out of prison. So my little, like, business plan is a little different. But baby, you want to sell clothes, you want to sell lip gloss, you want to sell pussy. But you want to sell clothes, you want to sell lip gloss, you want to sell extensions. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, it's like, why do you expect the nigga you just met to pop off on that and you're not even talking about shit?
Let me ask you, what's your relationship status now?
Oh no, I'm single. I'm outside.
You single?
Yeah, I'm single.
You like being single?
Oh my God, what?
For real?
I'm really the type of person who's like, I've always been like, I'll go to the movie by myself. I'll go to the restaurant by myself. Like, I'm that type of person. I'll go by myself. And then when I got with
go with you. You just pay your way.
And then when I got with my shut up. And then when I got with my ex, I learned a lot because I had stepkids and family. And you know, that was the first time I've ever been in a situation where I was like, I enjoy people outside of me. Like I've always been on some like I'll go to Cheesecake Factory by myself and eat at the bar. I'll go to Houston's by myself and eat at the bar. Like I've always been very much like I love myself. I love a person I am. But no, I've definitely enjoyed like my stepchildren are my best friends. Like even though I'm not with my ex, but like my stepkids.
So you still have a relationship with them?
I'm okay, yeah. They're 16 and 20, 17 and 22. Yeah.
For real?
Those are my, I still get my nails. That is my family. Like, I love them. And I will never, ever, 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 like, I don't care what situation I'm in. Those will always be
family for you.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
You want your own kids?
I've never been big about kids. I'm not one of the people who's been big about kids or marriage. I've been engaged, but I'm not one of them people who are big about kids and marriage. And maybe as I get older, maybe I'm 27, but maybe as I get older, that'll be something I'm interested in.
So you don't necessarily require marriage. You think you could be with somebody and we don't got to sign this legal contract?
I'm on that shit. This is my energy. Like, look, if I spend time with you and we enjoy each other, that's great. And if it doesn't work out, fine. I just want to know that we spent time together. We loved each other. We enjoyed each other. This was a great time.
Ooh.
And if you decide to go spend time with somebody else and enjoy them, that's great too. I will always have love. I'm not one of them people who are like on some like. I just feel like if you spend time and you enjoy somebody and you love them and y'all have fun together and it's great. Charge that shit to the game. Yeah. Thank you. I love you. I enjoyed you. And I hope you find that again. And if me and you can't make it happen, I hope you find that with someone else.
Yeah. So how do you go from dating somebody in the industry?
Yeah.
How do you go from dating somebody in the industry, right, and living a certain way? Because, me just going through, your social media and just watching how you living, you know what I mean? You going places, you traveling. Like you said, you stamping the passport, big house, all this type of stuff. Like when you leave that, right? Because I feel like that's hard for most women to be like, I'm leaving that. You know what I mean? But to do that, that's crazy. It's hard, right? So to do that, do you feel like when you leave that, you have to find that again, or you can say, all right, I don't have to be in a seven bedroom mansion, and I can go to a.
My ex before that too. I don't know if you peeped just my ex, but the ex before that.
I don't know the one before that. I just know drama.
Yeah,
that's it.
Way more money than that. 72 million. Like my ex before that was a first round draft pick to the Bills, Shaq Lawson, and he's on my page too. So, Wait, worth way more money than him. What are we even talking about?
I got 72.
I feel like there's a lot of females though in Atlanta. Like I've seen a lot of.
Wait. You're like that's not even
7,200. I'm stretching it. You hear me?
That's not even the question. Like,
2 zeros.
But there's a lot of people that move to Atlanta and their goal is to find a rich man. Like
it's like the promised land.
Like do that. Like,
no, like it just happens naturally.
Like I just people for $72 million. Like I don't have to like even before John. So I think it's like people think like, and a lot of girls write me like, how did you have XYZ do XYZ for you? And I try to keep it a buck with
but ain't that crazy? Like they asking you how to get a rich nigga. Like that's what they want.
My DMs are flooded.
That's what I mean. That's what's tripping me out. Is like when girls are going out of their way to try to find a rich nigga.
Like you see, like we're in love. Like this is not somebody I just
I mean, he commenting on this motherfucker like.
No, I've always been in any nigga I ever fuck with was on that type of time, and I've never been on some like, oh, I want this XYZ.
Yeah.
I just kept it a buck, and I kept it trill, and I think that every nigga I ever fuck with, even me and Shaq, that's still like I could say this shit on camera. Like me and Shaq are still great friends. He's an amazing man. We're still friends.
So, what do you want now, like as far as dating?
So I think that like. When you date people and then like I said, I've dated men who didn't have all that money on whatever, but I think it's just in a space of it has nothing to do with money. Like I've been significant enough that all my exes, I'm gonna be very honest, they all put me on allowance. So I didn't have no bills. So they all made sure.
So you had an allowance, like they make sure
and every Shaq, Drum, every nigga I've ever dealt with has put me on allowance, period. So I've never in my
making
life.
it hard for a regular Joe Schmo to come in there. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm just saying, but like any man of Shaq drama, I'll say that on camera. Any man I've ever dealt with has put me on allowance. So I've never needed to. But I've also had my own career. So it's like they fuck with me. And I always say this to women. I met bitches who look the baddest bitches. Like they're bad as fuck. And they're like, Stephanie, how do you make XYZ happen?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, not even just that I've had always something going on, career, law school, even when I wasn't even, before I got my undergraduate degree, before I got my criminal justice degree, that's when I met Shaq. Me and Shaq were together when he played football at Clemson, before he got drafted first round overall. Like, so, you know, men like that have fucked with you just because you aren't there yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're still like, okay, you're in college, I got you XYZ. But I just feel like I've always had something else going on. And I think a lot of men feel like, okay, you might be bad, you might be beautiful, you might be XYZ. Why the fuck would I invest in you when I'm going to see you next week at a Friday night with another nigga? Right. That wasn't what I had going on. A nigga met me. He's like, okay, I see you bad as fuck, da-da-da, and you got a college degree going on. So he knows on a Friday night, I'm not going to the local club. I'm not going to the XYZ. I'm going to the motherfucking tutor.
Yeah.
My tutor. You know what I'm saying? On a Friday night, I'm going to my tutor after 4 p.m. Like, what do I need to get done? And I think that's what, like, separated me from a lot of beautiful women. There's so many beautiful women in Atlanta. I always speak on that. Like, there's so many bad bitches, and you have to have something that separates you. And I've been lucky enough, and I've been fortunate enough, whether if it was Drum or with Shaq or whoever, they've always made sure, like, yo, you make my house a home. You make sure everything I need is done. Yeah. I've been a full-time assistant. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I be feeling I'm an assistant sometimes.
I ain't gonna hold you. You absolutely are the first woman I've ever met that have been in multiple relationships with rich men and not want children or marriage.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't, that's not normal.
That wasn't something, like,
that's
I
not the
met
regular.
my friends who were like, get pregnant. And
your friends saying that?
Oh, my friends, for sure. Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, I'm from a small, you gotta think I'm from some country ass shit in Griffin.
I'm trying to figure out.
They're seeing me dealing with a nigga who just got a contract for, I mean, when I met Shaq, he graduated, like, his first round draft pick, $22 million, and then he just got a new contract.
But that's not crazy to y'all? Like, no, there's legit women, like, women really have that perspective, like, mama. Oh, you meet a rich man, have a baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, my friends from back home, like, the country, are like, yo, you hit the gold mine, bitch, get pregnant.
So do you want the baby or you just want the man with the money? Like, that's wild to me that women think like this.
Even just because they have the money, that don't mean they gonna respect the
baby.
Right,
but it's like, I'm gonna have a baby with a rich man.
There's hella niggas in Atlanta. I'm gonna tell you, both of these men, both have kids, and I met in both scenarios. I've seen both, like, I've seen multiple men that I've dealt with. I'm just gonna say it like that. Multiple men I've dealt with, I've seen them have kids that both of them do not have the same love for, or not. Yeah.
There's a difference. Like there's a lot of bitches out
like
there that
I would never downplay either of them. They're both great fathers, but I would very much say that I have seen scenarios in which I never knew about kids they had, and they weren't great fathers.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but is that their fault or the woman's fault?
I think it's the woman's fault.
No, I'll say that in a certain scenario. I've seen a woman who had a baby by a man and ruined his marriage. And he felt like, bitch, fuck you. And he just got in their life because of me. So, like I said, I mean, I've seen it all. Like, I've seen it all in real life. I've seen it all.
But if
like,
a man, y'all ain't gonna like this.
Women no, my opinion is, if a man tell you he don't want that shit,
don't have it.
You decide to have it anyway. The only thing I think a man should be responsible for is the finances. After that, I don't owe you Father's Day gifts. I don't owe you Mother's Day gift. I don't owe you birthdays. I told you, look, I'll pay that child support because that's what you're going to do. You're going to put me on child support. But I'm letting you know, as I feel the same way. I've never, I think that's foul. If a man doesn't want to have it, why would you force him into that? And then if not, you're going to call him a deadbeat. But I feel like if that's what you want to do, the only thing a man should be responsible for is making sure the baby's financially taken care of. And even then, I feel like you're still foul. Like,
I don't even think they owe child support though. Like me
That's what I was
personally,
gonna say. Yeah.
I feel like if a nigga says I don't like, if I'm pregnant and a nigga tells me I don't want this baby,
and you have it, you chose that.
That you chose that. He didn't choose that because the child is a mutual agreement. Like if I choose to have a kid and you say I don't want no parts, I chose to have the baby, so I am financially responsible. Don't get me wrong; it does take two to make a baby. But at the end of the day, if the situation does not, if he wasn't going in like, okay, if I get her pregnant, I'm going to have this baby.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he owes you even financial because shit happens, don't get me wrong. But you knew, he said in advance, I do not want this kid.
He told you.
Yeah, he told you.
Right,
and
that's what I'm saying.
You continued and you chose to have a baby. Okay, cool. Like, if that's what you want in life, cool, do that shit, but you have to be prepared. I'm gonna be a single mom, and there's nothing wrong with being a single mom, but at the same time, like, I just don't agree that you should be like, yeah, this nigga gonna pay for this baby.
Yeah,
he got the money to, but he might not have the mental to. It's beyond financial to me.
Right.
Raising kids is beyond
way bigger.
It's way bigger than I'm gonna pay for a kid.
Popped out babies behind rich ass men worth 5, 7, 8 figures. I'm a big believer in, like, if I'm laying down to have a kid, you better be damn near my husband, and if not, we engaged. Like, and I have rings on my finger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been there. Like, I'm just a big believer in, like, I will not, like, I have a career myself. Like, I'm a career woman. I go to school. I literally work in law every day, PI law, like, going to law school. I will be damned before I'll have a baby by a man who I feel like isn't willing to give 100% to that kid. And I feel like the only man that's willing to give that is if that's your partner.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Yeah, same.
No, I agree. Absolutely. I just feel like we live in a world where there's no birth control laws for men. So because of that, it just is what it is. But imagine if they did actually provide a male birth control. Imagine what would happen. I don't think they want to, though. I don't think the society wants to give men the option to not have kids, because think about how many men would not have kids. You get what I'm saying? Men don't necessarily have that attachment to a baby until it's born. Women, y'all get that shit from the moment y'all feel that, oh, I'm pregnant, I got the test, I'm gonna be a mom. Men don't have that connection really. So it's like, if you give men the opportunity to take a pill or a shot or whatever to not have kids, the economy will be fucked up. Yeah. Because you got to consider how much money is in our country, in the world even, but in our country specifically, is driven by child support and financially providing for kids. You know what I mean? So imagine the women that depend on the child support check or depend on support from a man to take care of their household, or we know people like that. Like, oh, when that check come, I'm gonna pay the bills with that, or when his check come, I'm gonna buy this or whatever.
But that's a job. Like, I feel like even as a woman, like, if I have a baby, I don't look at a baby as money. Like, if that makes sense. Don't get me wrong. A baby, they're financially, like, they are a financial issue. Not issue, but like, they're financial. Responsibility, exactly. But at the same time, I just feel like as a woman, why are you having a baby for a check? Like, a baby requires more than money. Like, I was raised with everything I could have imagined in this world. But if you don't have the love, if you don't have the attention, if you don't have the respect to raise a child, don't bring a child into this world if you're looking for finances. Like, that's not what a child is for. So I just feel like there's a lot of, especially in Atlanta, there's a lot of females that have kids as a check, and it's like a kid is beyond a check. A kid is, you have to have the mental, the physical, the emotional tolerance to raise a child. Like, you have to be ready for whatever comes. Like, yes, financially they can be a burden. Cool, I understand that. But at the same time, if you cannot financially handle a child on your own, and that nigga don't want that baby, you should be like, okay, cool. It's not smart to bring a child into this world.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I can force a dad to love, because that affects the child growing up too. Like, you don't want to raise a child and they have trauma for the rest of their life because
people not thinking about that.
Yeah, they don't, and that's the issue.
Think about it. Like, if you look at like I don't know if it was Roosevelt or whichever president it was that introduced like welfare, and that broke the household. It broke us. You know what I mean? Prior to that, it was a man and dad in every household. It was a father raising kids in the household, right? Whatever he brought home, the wife would make it work, feed the kids with it, and we got a family. But and those kids, whether they might not have had designer this or designer that, but they were raised to have stability. They were raised to go out and work and become their own earners and stuff, right? And then you look at 60s, 70s when welfare came into place, you start removing the man from the household. When you start removing the man from the household, what happens? The crime rate went up. Mm-hmm. Incarceration went up. You get what I'm saying? All of these things start to increase because now you don't have any direction. Women are here to nurture. That's what y'all are great at. You're great at nurturing and raising kids, right? But discipline and guidance is supposed to come from a man. Right. Women look to men for guidance. So it's imagine what kids are looking to men for. You know what I mean? Safety, guidance, protection, like direction. And you took that out of the household. So by removing that from the household, now we have an influx in incarceration, murder rates, crime rates, all of these things where there's no man that can tell a young teenage boy, like, no, you don't treat women like this. You don't treat girls like that. You don't do this. You don't do that. So we lost that. Right. So now that shit is gone, it's like we fucked up. You know what I mean? We fucked up. But it was told to him, like, you go to a household and you tell a black woman or you tell a woman in general, like, look, we'll pay your rent. You pay $8 a month. We give you food stamps. You give you $400 a month. Feed your kids. You got a roof over your head. But you just got to kick him out. He can't be here. He can't live here. He got to go. So then you tell him, look, and and in the beginning it's like we're gonna finesse the system, so I'll just leave so you can get it. But now we doing random checks and inspections, making sure no man lives here, checking your closet, making sure there ain't no male clothing in there and all that kind of shit. And when you're doing that, now this woman now is like, okay, well, the thing that I probably need a husband for the most, the government is giving it to me. So I'm going to speak up a little bit more. I'm going to buck a little bit harder. I'm going to talk back now. I'm going to treat this, you know what I mean? You lose the respect for the male figure. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you ever had a job where like, you respect your job, and then you get that offer letter from the next job? And you like, fuck this job. Like, I ain't even like it anyway, right? So now the respect goes out the window because you have a safety net. So when they provided that, it's like, look, we're your safety net. Just get rid of the black man that's in your household. Yeah. So now your son is raised without a dad. And then, the intention was, oh, well, you could just be over there and you can come over here and be a part-time dad. But you can't really part-time parent. That shit not really for real. Like, it's not effective like being a full-time parent. Yeah. Right? And because you're the full-time parent in a woman's role, you lose respect for the man. Like, I'm his dad. I'm his mom and his dad. Like, we joke about it every year on social media. Like, don't come around here on Father's Day saying you a dad. Like, you a woman. Like, you know what I mean? Right. But women really got into that role of thinking like, oh, we don't need men. We don't need men. We don't need men. And
it's fucked up.
And now we fucked up. You know what I'm saying? We fucked up. And it's like a woman a legit get pregnant and have a baby with no intent on trying to co-parent or the man even, like, he didn't even want a kid, right? Yeah. But we don't have an option. You 16, you get pregnant, you like, my life, I got my whole life ahead of me. I can get rid of this. I can start over. I can just sweep this under the rug and move forward, right? I'll cope with it, right? But we don't get that. I'm a 16-year-old athlete on the way to the league and I get you pregnant as a mistake because what they say, y'all mature faster than us, right? So if you 16, I'm 16, you probably know more than me, right? You probably more mature than me. So I'm just trying to experience sex because I'm young and I'm in puberty. I get you pregnant and my life is done. Yeah. You know what I mean? Your parents hate me. They think I coerced you into doing it. You know what I mean? I got to go get a job, leave school, try to provide for you. You don't really like me like that because I can't give you as much as you thought I could. So now we in a fucked up cycle and it's just, it's repeating. Over and over. You know what I mean? And that's the world we live in.
And having a kid is not like a part-time job. That shit is 24/7, like the rest of your life. You are
the rest of your life.
You know what? I will never lay down with a nigga to have a baby.
Listen, that's for life. Like, that is, you know what's going to be required for
me to have a baby? Do you know what the requirements
are? Listen, I'm not just having no baby just because. No, like, and there's,
Y'all the only two in Atlanta left with no babies. There's two of them left, y'all, just in case you didn't know.
Right here.
You niggas better shoot them shots, get them DMs, because there's two left.
Like, there's been times where it's like, I could have had a kid, and it's like, I'm not been to sit here and be like, okay, like, yeah, this nigga got money, I'm finna have a baby. No, that's a lifetime commitment.
Right, but you have a choice.
Yeah, you have a choice, and so do they. Like, I feel like that shit, that's not it takes two to do it. It takes two to decide, okay.
Exactly.
If you are not going to be a part of it, I don't even want to raise a kid with one single parent.
Wow. For what?
I was raised by a single parent. I would never want that.
Why?
My kid. I was blessed. My mom worked her ass off. But it's like, I don't want my kids, like, to this day.
Yeah.
I still, like, I will forever have that abandonment issue of the fact that I did not have my dad growing up. I don't want my kids having that feeling.
You in your 20s and still fuck with you, right?
Yeah, to this day. And I have a relationship to an extent with my dad now, but it's like that came at 18. Like, I'm
when I needed you the most.
Yeah, like at this point, I don't need a dad. I just want to know my history at this point. Like, I'm not looking for a father figure.
Figure out who the fuck you are.
Yeah, like this is me trying to figure out who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, my culture and shit. And
like, who the fuck am I? Like, I don't know.
20s, like trying to figure out who they are type shit. So, I mean, it's a hit or miss with every bitch. So.
I'm gonna lighten the mood. Before we get out of here, we talking about having babies and stuff. Stephanie.
Yes.
And we talking about having babies. Let's talk about practicing having babies.
Let's talk about it.
Your love life. Are you feel like you're a sexual person, or you're a pillow princess?
I didn't make a bunch of niggas fall in love for nothing.
Okay.
I didn't get kept for nothing.
Hold up. All right, so let me ask you.
Keep it a bug. I didn't get kept for nothing.
For
I didn't make niggas. No.
You got fantasies?
I got my little roster, and I'm just keep it a buck. Any nigga I ever felt with, any nigga I ever dealt with has dealt with some bad bitches, but they done put their last for me. So
why?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm just a very much like, not even just on a freaky shit or crazy shit, but like my energy, my aura. Like, I'm a smart woman. I'm a beautiful.
You be wearing
woman.
like lingerie for niggas and shit like that?
Oh my God, what? Like, I am what? Lingerie ain't nothing.
Girls don't do
like,
that shit
I
no
will
more.
find any nigga I deal with. I like to know his kink. Do you like lingerie? Do you like stockings? Do you like latex? I done dealt with niggas I done dealt with niggas who just like straight lingerie, like lace. I done dealt with niggas who like straight latex, like rubber, like just rub on me. I'm very transparent. Like, I'm so like, I would rather you tell me what the fuck your kink is, even if you think it's weird. I'd rather you tell me than go get it from another bitch.
You not gonna judge a nigga for his kink?
What? I've never judged a nigga for his kink. What? No.
What's a crazy kink to you?
Nah, I mean, the craziest kink I ever heard of in my life was like piss on me as a woman. But like, you know, niggas like to. I done dealt with niggas who like to piss on you on some like shower shit. Like that type of shit. I done had niggas piss on me. Yes, on some like shower shit.
Oh, I think
but for a man who like kinks, the craziest kink I ever heard was on some like, damn, like some. Like latex. I want you in all latex. I want you in all lingerie. Like, I ain't never dealt with no nigga who like some crazy kink. Yeah. But I'm here for that too. For me, I'm like, if I'm fucking with you on some sexual shit, like, there's nothing we can't do except for like, I'm not pegging no nigga. Like, I'm not gonna peg a nigga. Like, I'm not pegging no. I'm not putting no dick in no nigga. Like, I might just like rub. Like, I might eat a little gooch and like rub on.
Hold up now. Wait a minute. You what you mean you eat a little gooch?
I'll lick a little gooch. Like,
that's like right by the ass though.
But no, there's a difference. Trust me.
It is. I know.
My homegirl was like, my man wants to. I'm like, bitch, you better get in the coffin before you do that. No, I'm never too. I'll lick a little gooch. I'll lick a little, but just straight up. Putting my finger in a nigga ass or pegging a nigga. No, we're not doing that.
So you got a kink? What's yours?
Oh, no, I don't have no kinks.
So you're not into nothing crazy. You just like regular.
No, I know how to get my own nut. I could play with my own pussy and catching up with a fucking rose. No. But
Man,
I
this
know
rose done changed the
I
world.
like a nigga who know how to
Damn.
The rose.
Nah, but I
got y'all
like a
niggas
nigga who
beat.
Damn, I can't
Yeah,
do
but
what the
nah.
rose do.
But if I fucking with a nigga, I'll teach him how to get me off too.
For
like
real?
play with my pussy, know what to do, put his dick right here, rub it. Yeah, no.
You come from like stimulation or penetration?
Honestly, stimulation.
Yeah.
But for me, if I'm doing by myself, penetration.
For real?
Yeah.
So would you use like a dildo or a vibrator?
Both. I like a
I
like
thought
a
dildos was strictly for
but
porn.
no,
I
like
don't
a
know
dildo
nobody to
who
use
got
dildos.
the motherfucking the little things on it
They
where
go
you
on
can
your
like
clit,
put
right?
it in you, but then it rubs on
Hit
the
your clit, right? Yeah.
I like that.
Y'all cheating. See, that's what's fucking y'all up. Because y'all be like, niggas don't know how to fuck. No, it's y'all using these
Niggas
super
don't-
toys.
No, niggas don't know how to
Them
fuck.
toys is so fucking
We use
out
the
of this
toys 'cause
world.
Niggas don't know how to fuck.
Right,
We
but I
use it.
can't. A person can't do what the toy do.
Exactly, so we use the toy.
Man. But
Man,
if you no, it's not
I was fucking niggas before
I've
I
met
It's gonna
niggas-
desensitize your clit. You gonna be fucked up.
No, I had my pussy
No, that's
pierced
true.
since I was 18. No, don't do that. Because people be like, oh, you get your pussy pierced, it's gonna desensitize. I got my pussy pierced at 18 years old.
Listen.
My nipples and my pussy, it didn't desensitize shit. I'm letting you know, like, if it's on some, like, you gotta think a lot of niggas is all about their nut. But for me, like I said, like, I know how to get my own nut off. You don't gotta do too much. But as a man, if I'm getting you off, and I know, like, okay, you like XYZ, it's a little different, you know what I'm saying? A different little path to get where we need to be.
But see, when I say desensitized, I mean like, say for instance, right? If I get head from somebody and her head crazy, if I'm with somebody else and she don't do it like she did it, it just don't get me there because now I'm used to that.
Yes.
So like, if you using a toy in a rose and it's doing something to you that a person really can't do, it's going to be hard for a person to get you to that same level of
but I
climaxing.
could do that, and then if I'm doing that to me, I'm not even gonna come to another nigga. There's sometimes, like, I know 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna have to get myself off because at this point in my life, I'm not fucking with random niggas. I'm not getting my pussy ate by random niggas. I'm not getting fucked by random niggas.
Okay.
So that's my space right now. So my space right now was like, let me just do what I need to do for myself.
Do what now?
I said, well, let me do what I need to do to myself.
I was just fucking with you. I heard
But
you.
in a couple weeks, when I'm done being abstinent or whatever the case, not abstinent, but in a couple weeks where I'm going outside meeting new niggas, XYZ, then it's a different story. And I'm willing to teach them how to please me. Same way, I wish a nigga, like, I dealt with men who have certain kinks.
Yeah.
Like I said, niggas who like latex or latex. I want you to teach me what you like. If that's my nigga or that's who I'm fucking with, teach me what you like. You like latex? You like latex glove? You like latex outfits? What's up? Let's get it done. Same way I would hope a nigga that I'm fucking with is like, oh, baby, you like stimulation. You like your pussy ate, da-da-da. I will hope they willing to do that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Because I'm willing to do whatever. If I'm fucking with a nigga and you say, look, I like latex. Okay, so I put on a whole latex outfit. What we doing? I put latex down to my toes, to my motherfucking neck. You know?
Okay. Yeah. I'm just asking because I just want to know. You know what I mean? Because everybody like different shit. I don't know. Me personally, I'm really big into boobs. I like boobs a lot, right?
Oh, I
so
love
that's my thing. So I just be like, you know, if you wear the right kind of lingerie, the right kind of tops and shit like that, that should excite me. Like, I get excited by that. But I don't really have no wild, crazy kinks, I don't think. I think everything I've ever wanted to do, I've done it.
Oh, nice.
So it's like trying to figure out, what do I do now? Like, what's next? So that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure out, like, what do I do that I've never done that's going to, you know what I mean? And that's hard, though, because, you know, you still have, like, your boundaries, but it's like, what can I do within my boundaries? So that's kind of where I'm at with sex. But
I have a praise kink. I'm not gonna lie.
What
like
is it?
a praise kink. Like I love like this gonna sound crazy. So like I like hearing like I'm doing good. Like I love like
you want niggas to pipe you up.
I want a nigga to talk to me
Talk
like
shit.
And you know they be talking like it low key be like degrading low key. But
Oh yeah, I like a nigga call me a whore.
The
Call
good
me a whore.
girl. Like
I
I love that. Like I love hearing like. Oh, like you like
That's
this shit.
I'm like, call me a hoe. Call me a whore.
A
like,
slut bitch.
Yeah,
Nasty
no.
slut bitch.
You dirty ass whore.
Yeah. It's like,
slut
but like,
bitch. I
you know when
love
niggas
it.
talk to you, like, I don't want to say like dogs,
Oh,
but
that's
like
how
when
you
they be
get a
like
ring.
a good girl or like anything
Yeah.
like where it's like, I know.
Oh, like when you giving head?
Yes,
you such a
like
good
I
girl.
love
I love you.
hearing.
You such a slut for
Yeah,
that.
you
If
fucking
you tell
whore.
me, if you talk to me, honestly, it could be like the worst sex ever. I'm not gonna say the worst sex ever, but like your dick cannot be up to size.
Yeah.
I'm a size person. Like I can't have sex with no small dick and then be like, all right, it was good. Like no. If you talk to me while we're having sex and like it sounds good, I'll be like, okay, like I'm listening to you, and I feel like I'm the baddest bitch.
It's
in the
that
world.
battery in the back.
I'm
right?
like,
Wait, hold on.
I am big on like I want to hear you talk. Like I can't have quiet sex. I can't.
So when you say you a size person, what you mean? Like you like a long dick? You like a nigga with a thick dick? Like what you like?
Both. Like I've had sex with niggas that aren't like the biggest, but they had a little bit of like, you know, girth to them. Yeah, and it's just like, okay, but they know what they doing. And it's like, okay, cool, but they still knew, like, they're talking to me. It's like, I like we really, like, we in it. Yeah, like, you looking at me like it's not just you just fucking me. Like,
yeah, that's how you get pregnant. All right, cool.
It's not.
Okay. What you like? What kind of?
No, I just like, no, I mean, I'm like very not particular. Like,
so size don't matter to you?
No, size isn't. What? Size? What? No, we can make some shit happen with a little. I made some shit happen with the little dick, and I done made some shit happen with the biggest dick. But I'm also on some like, I like the energy is for me. Like I don't give a fuck if your dick's not like. First, it's on like maybe a smaller dick. Like, okay, look, I'm gonna do reverse cowboy, do a little. You know what I'm saying? I can make that shit happen. Whereas, if you got a little ass dick, you can't fuck me missionary like that because your dick's so little, you can't make it happen. So I'm like big about like I can make that shit happen for me for whatever. I know exactly where to touch my pussy. Like as long as the shit as long as some stimulation is being done, I can play with my pussy and catch a nut regardless.
I can make myself nut. I will say that. I know how.
I know even if the shit is like, even if the dick is little or whatever, like, and it's not. I can as long as it's something I can like move my body the way I need to move it against your body.
But I will say I can make myself nut, but I'm not gonna fuck you again because I had to make myself nut.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm not spinning the block.
So what if I gotta fucking go through XYZ to do it? Like I don't know how to move my body on you and then just like play with my pussy to get to where I need to be and move my body left, right, left, and that's it. Because if I gotta go to extremes to make myself come.
So you want like sensual sex, or you want a nigga like pound your shit out?
I mean, I'm with what
you like sensual.
You like sensual? I like being pounded.
I thought you would say you like to be pounded.
It depends. Okay, so I feel like pounded. I don't like really gentle niggas because I'm very much so. Like I said, I'm a stimulation girl. Like I don't really do too much penetration, but like I don't want it to be like I've had niggas literally just be so soft, and I'm not a soft girl. Like you can't just rub me. Like we're not making love unless we're making love.
Right. I feel.
It's a certain standard or level to each nigga. I feel like now if we are just fucking and you're trying to sit here and like just do some slow intimate shit, no. Like, but if there's feelings or if like I really fuck with you, you can do shit like that, and I'm gonna be like, okay, I fuck with you. But like I'm not really into like don't just fuck the shit out of me and be like, all right, ho, like, all right.
Like, no, I like being talked to like that, like bitch, whore ass.
No,
bitch.
that's
I like that.
That's different though. It still gotta be something between. Like
I'm insane.
I don't
I'm like, call me a fucking hoe.
No, I don't like niggas to
call
just
me a whore
like look you in
up.
your face and say that.
I like that.
Don't just like
crazy,
real quick and then all of a sudden, all right, like we done. Like it's gotta be like we need some foreplay.
If you calling me a whore, you better be willing to back that shit up.
Yeah,
like don't call me a whore on some like.
So you want your shit beat up?
Yeah, if you calling me, I be like, talk to me like you dirty ass bitch. Yeah, what's up? But I like to hear that and then be on some like you better fuck.
You want him to say what?
You dirty ass bitch.
Oh my god.
I'm like, call me
you gotta,
that.
You gotta fuck in that business suit. You know she wearing business suits.
So you like to be like, I've been slapping
beat up.
Shit. Yeah, I've been like, I've had niggas like hit me like.
No,
I'm like,
I want you to be like, I'm damn near not breathing.
Get up with the bottle. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, please.
Nah, I ain't doing that. That's
please
crazy.
Please hit me with the Casamigos.
That's crazy. Nah,
I like that.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm super aggressive like that. I mean, Nah, you a lover, so this nigga sensual. I'm trying. Like
I've been like, so I had a nigga one time, like, and we weren't even like really fucking each other, like we weren't really intimate type shit. We was just fucking. Like he had good dick, but he like choked me so hard that I passed out.
Why he was fucking you?
Why he was fucking me? And kept fucking me.
It kept going till you woke up.
I passed out and woke back up. Shit. I was like, because he was choking me, like he was hitting it from the back.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, normally if they choke you, it's missionary or something in the front. So I'm like this.
Always does it.
Nigga choked me from the back.
Yeah.
I passed out, went blackout for like
Passed
a few
out. I've
seconds.
never passed out.
Woke
That's
back up.
crazy.
He's still going.
He
I was
still
like,
hitting
oh
it.
my God.
Yeah.
I was like,
Where
what
am I?
the fuck is going on?
That's crazy. Nah, I ain't. Yeah, see, I'm scared of that kind of shit.
I'm not gonna
nigga.
lie, I never fucked
You
him
fuck
again.
around and wake up, and then I gotta go to jail for this shit. Like,
Never
nah,
fucked
I
him
ain't
again.
go for it.
After
No,
that.
passed out is crazy.
Passed out was
I can't do it,
insane.
dog.
And ever since then, I was, because he was literally just like fucking. And I'm like, damn, like, don't get me wrong. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the rough, but not like, don't hurt me. Like, don't fucking
That
kill
what
me.
y'all be
trying to
saying
fuck
more,
me.
more,
Yeah, like,
harder.
but I
I'm
wasn't
like,
saying
hold up,
harder.
bro.
I'm like,
relax.
damn, like,
I can't go no
Passed out is
harder.
crazy.
but
I
passing
can't.
out, like, I literally like just laid flat.
You like
Kept
threesomes?
going, like,
Like an
Stephanie?
animal. Oh yeah, I've had.
You
No,
had
I
threesomes?
like.
You like 'em?
Yeah, I honestly like foursomes. I'd rather like.
What the fuck?
No,
Hold up.
I'd rather like one man and then like 3 girls.
You done that?
Cause for sure. Cause 2 girls is like
I'm not
cool
living.
or whatever.
I'm not
Like
living.
me and my friend, but like I'd rather it be 3 of us, cause it's like we don't have like if you got 2 girls.
You got
like-
chill bumps on your legs.
Yeah, are they? Yeah, they are.
Is that what that is? That's chill bumps?
Yeah, you
I
can
can
touch
touch
it. Yeah, it
Why,
is.
what's wrong with you? Are you okay?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
so
you feeling
I'm
away.
like-
She here
I'm
feeling
like, no,
away.
I like threesomes,
Yeah.
but I also feel like for me, I'm only doing threesomes or foursome with my man, but I've also been brought in into a
Yeah.
situation. Like my first threesome ever was with I got brought in,
Yeah.
but ever since then, like I'll bring women into my situation, and like threesomes are cool, and it's like okay, you the man, another girl, and then it's like another girl. But for me, I'd rather it to be like, because every girl has a different kink, every girl has different energy.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be a foursome. So I'd rather bring 3 girls in, or like 2 girls. So me, my man, and 2 girls in, rather than just 1 girl.
That's not easy to do, though.
Hey,
Like, how the fuck do you make that happen?
What do you mean?
it's
definitely
easier for
easy.
girls than guys.
Yeah,
To
like
be
what
like
do you
both
mean?
y'all
So-
come, like, that's crazy.
So if I'm like
Honestly-
in a bar or like we're out at a club, like I'm gonna be in the club, me, my man, and then there's like, of course, at least a wait. Maybe it might just be a waitress or a
Yeah.
bitch, whatever. They're going to fuck. Oh hey, like she want to fuck with us. You're so pretty. da, da.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's like at least one more other girl. So even if it's just like foursome, you could really turn like you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
me and
I
my
mean,
man,
no, I don't. I've
we're
never
at
done
the
that.
bar. Me and my man, we're at the bar with the club, whatever. Having a vibe, and then one of the waitresses wants to hop in, so that's a threesome. And then she's like, "Oh, my friend," and that's a foursome. So it's like a way less energy on everybody. You got to think if it's a
So you-
threesome, you got the man. He's got you as his bitch who he's used to fucking. He's used to fucking you. So then the other girl that's the friend, she's got to put in her energy.
Yeah.
And then if she's got an extra friend, oh yeah, it's less energy for everybody.
Think about the man.
I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm
it's
not
less
used to
energy
that.
for everybody.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The
to
man don't
me.
got to do too much because there's so many of us. Like,
So you
it's
like
less
legit
energy.
bisexual?
The man.
no.
No?
I don't fuck with girls regularly, like soberly. No, I'll fuck with girls on my man type tip, but I'm not fucking with no girls regularly.
For real?
Now I'll let a girl eat my pussy, but like I'm not fucking with no girls on a regular type tip without my man.
Man, that's crazy. All right, look. Before we get out of here, right?
Yeah,
Number one question I wanted to ask your ass when
What's that?
what's your measurements?
measurements.
You know?
Damn. You know, it's the craziest thing. People always ask me that, and I'm like,
You don't know 'em?
I have no idea.
They don't make a bra to fit you.
Yeah, no, I know they do these
I
days.
I went through a lot of content on your page. They don't make a bra.
They
to,
don't know. Ever since I lost my, you should know I was thicker.
Yeah,
you know,
I
I was
remember.
thicker.
Yeah, I remember.
When I was thicker, they didn't have it. But
Yeah.
ever since I lost weight,
Uh-huh.
I'm a good like 36 triple D these
That's
days.
cap.
No, 36. This is for Victoria's Secret. 36 triple D right here. When I was way bigger breasted, thick as fuck, before I lost my weight,
Yeah.
I mean, I would say like a G or H. I didn't even have no real size. Like before, like you could tell them when I was like 20, 30 pounds
Be
heavier.
like, bartender, we get another shot.
There was
That's
no
crazy.
size for my titties. They were abnormal. I would say before I lost all my weight, a solid like 36G, 36H, just humongous. There was no sizes. Like,
And they natural.
yeah, they're natural. My titties have always been real. And they sit really nice. I've been so blessed, and my titties, like when I take my bra off, my titties are still really nice. But yeah, so even growing up, when I first moved to Atlanta, before I got my body done, I was still a big titty bitch. So I've never got my titties touched because number one, they sit really nicely. I don't have to get a like lift or anything. But yeah, so I was big tittied, and then I went and got weight loss surgery, and ever since then, these are like a 36 triple D. But
You happy with it? With that size?
oh my God, I love the
You
way my
love
body
this size?
looks. I'm so happy with how I look
For
right
real?
now. Yeah.
You said you got your nipples pierced. You still got sensation in them?
No, I had both my nipples pierced and my pussy pierced. So
And it didn't mess you up? Or
never.
Like, you still
No,
had
no,
your
no.
sensation?
The sensation was great. They took all my piercings out my last surgery. So I've had a bunch of doctors who were willing to say fuck that.
Yeah.
But my last doctor was like, no, I'm
Take
gonna
this shit
take it
out.
out. Yeah.
So you don't want them no more?
No, my titties I'm never getting redone. The piercings. But my
Yeah.
pussy I'm gonna get it redone. Cause it's like
Okay.
easy as pussy piercing. If I had
That shit don't hurt?
if I had if I had nipples, you're gonna pass out. I passed out. But if I had to give anybody recommendations about piercings for their pussy, I would always say the shit is like $85, cheap as shit, easy as shit. It does not hurt. Get a VCH. VCH.
That's the clitoris?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
It's the Vittorio Clitoral Hood. Very quick, very in and out of there. Best pussy piercing I ever had. I can't wait to get it redone.
I told you was going to drop some gems.
Yeah, go get your
Oh,
pussies pierced, babe.
man.
Because when you meet
Listen.
a man and he's like, God damn, that pussy piercing is pretty. And then if you get a different color, I done changed my piercings a million times. Blue, pink, diamonds. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm old fashioned. I like a coochie with a little bit of hair on it. You know, I ain't.
My
you
man
know.
does too. I got my Every
Yeah.
man has a different kink, and my new man is like, I want hair on it. And
Yeah,
I'm like, what's
there's
up?
nothing
I
wrong
keep
with that.
it.
Keep a little bit of fur on it. I know we out of here. Thank you again, Steph, for coming in. Before you go though, just tell our audience where they can find you at, where they can follow you. So, at what point can we hire you to be our lawyer? Like if somebody say, "Oh, look, I want you to be my lawyer."
2026.
All right,
No,
2026.
No, 2025.
2025?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
You be a fine ass lawyer.
Yeah.
Crazy. Can't fit
But
none
you
of them
can
business
still
suits.
hire me to be your, like, I still work in personal injury. I know all
For
the,
real?
yeah, I'm
Okay.
still big in that. So even right now, I can get you a good attorney.
All right. So yeah, tell them where they can find
Ready?
you at, where they can follow you at.
Yes, my name's Stephanie. I'm at Stephanie Said So. If you ever get in a car accident, personal injury, slip and fall, I do that to this day. I'll get you a great attorney. I'll take care of you. And about 2 years from now, I'll be an attorney myself. So what's up? I can't wait. I had
Finest
so
one in
much fun
Atlanta.
here. They took such good care of me. They asked the best questions. I wouldn't have been. I've had the most fun here. I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be. So
Thank you. Yeah.
thank you.